Welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 250,000 subscribers. Almost there at 240, thanks to you. So hit subscribe, watch, and share with your friends because there's so much going on and so much more will be going on, especially as we get closer to January 20th, Inauguration Day. We all of us, going to need to stay aware of what Trump plans to do. And these aren't hypotheticals. These are actual statements that came from Trump and from his people, his inner circle, on what they intend to do on day number one. Now, I saw an incredible article on MSNBC discussing exactly this, what Trump intends to do on day one. And I want to go through it. I want to go through much of the article with you and walk you through it, because this is why I say share with your friends. Make sure they understand what's happening. The first part goes in and says what Trump has said he'll do on day one of his presidency. Many of Trump's immediate plans require massive financial and logistical resources, not to mention political will to carry out. It goes on to say, some of Trump's day one plans may be clear before he even takes office. For example, special counsel Jack Smith, whom he has threatened to fire, is likely to step down before Trump's inauguration. Smith has also wound down both federal cases he brought against Trump in recent weeks. He talks then about immigration, something that you have heard me talk about on this program in other episodes quite a bit. One of Trump's most extreme campaign promises was to carry out, and I quote, the largest mass deportation program in the country's history, beginning on day one of his presidency. Now, it's unclear how such a large-scale operation could be executed, but immigration officials have said it would be a huge logistical and financial effort. Economists have also warned that such a program would cause an economic disaster for the U.S., which relies heavily on migrant labor. Trump told NBC News in November that there would be, and again, quote, no price tag for his mass deportation plans. He then goes on to say that we're talking about in a move that could face a prolonged legal fight. President-elect has also said he wants to end birthright citizenship through executive action on his first day to deny citizenship to U.S.-born children of undocumented immigrants. This is the first time ever. Birthright citizenship is a protection enshrined in the United States Constitution. But Trump has said that he would consider changing the Constitution to rescind the rule. And amending the Constitution is a power that lies with Congress, not the president. So how does he plan to accomplish this? I don't know. But another issue that he starts to talk about is energy regulation and climate policy. Trump said that he would issue an executive order to reverse President Joe Biden's climate policies and would push for a steep increase in oil and gas drilling on his first day as president. My friends, we have a real problem here. We have a real problem here. Why? Because our earth is getting hotter year by year by year. It's why we are seeing these mass floodings. We're seeing these crazy weather patterns. Now, people could go ahead and dismiss them. You're seeing chunks of the Arctic literally just falling in glaciers, the size of states, the size of like Rhode Island, falling into the ocean. Well, what happens when it melts? What happens to the ocean table? It rises, which means places like Florida will be underwater. And we're talking about scientists who have proven this, that our earth is getting hotter. There will come a point in time that earth will be uninhabitable. Are we stupid or something? The whole world is talking about climate change. The whole world wants to figure out what we can all do cumulatively to stop to stop climate change, to stop the heating of our earth so that we can end up staying here as we have no other place to go. He then goes on to talk about trans rights, another big issue. Trump made many promises to crack down on transgender rights upon his return to office. He said he would cut federal funding for schools that teach critical race theory and what he called transgender insanity. He also said he would bar trans women from competing in women's sports, fueling an issue that conservatives have framed as a widespread threat to cisgender women, but in reality is supported by scant evidence. This is out of control. I mean, you're not talking about a substantial group of people. You're talking about a limited number of people. And to make this into an issue at this point in time, fine. By the way, I didn't know that the President of the United States is going to be able to dictate, for example, NCAA rules or Olympic rules. I didn't know that he had that power too, but then what the fuck do I know? He goes on to bring another point up. He intends to pardon the January 6th rioters, who he refers to as hostages. Trump has said that one of his first acts in the White House would be to pardon those convicted in the January 6th attack on the Capitol. He has called the insurrection, quote, a day of love, and cast the rioters as patriots who were horribly and unfairly treated. Again, in an interview with NBC News, he also did not rule out pardoning individuals who pled guilty to their crimes, including assaulting police officers, saying that they had no choice. This is all very, very dangerous rhetoric. I want to be very clear about a few things here. When we start talking about the things that Trump intends to do on day number 1, in order to fulfill campaign promises that I truly wish that he never would have even done, is really super dangerous. That's not just dangerous for America, it's dangerous for the world. But since we're talking about the world, there's one more item that Donald brought up, and that's tariffs, something you've heard me talk about, and 27 U.S. economists, top economists. Trump has vowed to sign an executive order imposing steep tariffs on goods from some of the United States' largest trading partners on the first day of his presidency. It's going to have a very busy first day. In a Truth Social post in November, he threatened to charge a 25% tariff on imports from Canada and Mexico as punishment for what he called the open borders through which people are bringing crime and drugs at levels never seen before. Look, again, let me be very clear about something here. In some of my other episodes here on the Michael Cohen Show, we talked about immigration. We talked about the problem. So now he wants to impose tariffs, claiming that people are coming through Mexico and Canada, these unwanted illegal immigrants. But yet you listen to people like Jared Polis, Governor Polis, saying that immigrants are an important part of our economy. And that if we send them back to their countries, not only will we lose the jobs, but we're going to lose the benefit of those jobs. Financial benefit. Well, which one is it, right? Are we punishing them for the immigrants coming in that we need? Are we sending them back? What is it exactly that we're doing? What is it that the tariffs are going to end up doing? And you've heard me talk about it as well on this program. Let me explain how the tariff will ultimately get paid, not by Mexico, not by Canada, but by you and me. All right? It's going to hit the American consumer. So think of it this way. If the item is $1 right now before tariffs, and then they put on a 25% tariff, they're not selling it for the same dollar. They're going to sell it for the $1.25, and then the person who purchases it, which we'll call, they'll be the wholesaler. The wholesaler is not getting it at $1.25 because the seller then has to make their profit too. So it'll be $1.50. And then, of course, the retailer will sell it. The wholesaler will sell it to the retailer, right, who has to make his profit in the way. So it's not $1.50 anymore. Now it's $2. And then the retailer has to sell it to you and me, where they make at least 100% on their money, or 80%. So now you're talking about $4. So who's paying the cost as a result of this genius idea of 25% to 100%, as Trump likes to say, to China, especially to a country where 80% of our goods are actually coming from? My friends, my only hope is that this was all political bluster, that it still right now has not fully set in, because when all of this stuff starts, it's why I say make sure that you subscribe, watch these episodes, and share, because our voices are going to be more important then than ever before in U.S. history. We're going to need facts, not innuendo. And that's all you're going to get here on the Michael Cohen Show and on the Midas Touch Network. Facts. And as always, thanks for listening. Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this